slogan used to intertwine with
Looks like tomorrow never came. Looks like tomorrow never came.
a few locusts trudge along. The trap is filled with dead and dying. The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone.
What have you found? And also, do buy the...
Several maps have been attached to a... The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda. Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tournée race. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called The Anti-Star. He's next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still... I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing.
Shelves fill to the brim. Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same Slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and that's a good question. Reality is... As before, this is directly above the central fern. Again, your voice, Sire, may we suggest something? Perhaps it's not such a bad idea. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, The play key starts blinking. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Gazou. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I've unlocked the production schedule.
Really? She just used the same password? Maybe those radio computer guys aren't that paranoid after all.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. With a quiet determination, the printer starts printing, a piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan. A black crisscross of letters covers it. It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott, about where the first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule. In its short time of existence, Fortress Accident SCA, the first tranche of seed financing, brought in 150,000 Riyal. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000. Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igauni. Fortress Accident employed 18 people, the bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. There were also radio programs and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement. Why did Fortress Accident have so many concept artists? It didn't. No, definitely not. A few more producers could have come in handy though, especially when dealing with writers. One of them even managed to steal some valuable company property before skipping town for good. The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy. Not the concept artists. It wasn't even the writers. With their it was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding. They tried to make a 4 million Riyal game with 400,000 in their bank account. They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination. They couldn't. No, even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility. That is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads. At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Suliswaf Jalisa, decided that what Wirral Untethered needed was a secret. This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head the world had never seen their kind before, and might never. So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined. Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here, but it may take a while. The lieutenant taps his foot impatiently, his arms folded tight against his chest. What if you broke the radio computer? What if it's never going to stop? And that's it. Well, yeah, that and the catastrophic data loss. On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end where things get fuzzy and dark, where tables and what is clear is that one day an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian lintel front, just as the World Untethered project was being compiled. When the project was returned, it was completely blank. The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation. Always read the terms of service. And let's face it, they didn't have any money left for a legal action. Mysteriously enough, it seems that the off-site copy happened to be on-site when the catastrophic data loss occurred. It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the off-site copy and, well, S. Luukinen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no off-site anymore. Not for me, I didn't have a home anymore. So I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal. Her former colleagues would agree with you. She's right, actually. Nothing wrong with keeping this type of filament. The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later. 4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under, too. Still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. Since I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West, turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Sandbrun 1147. That's what the street sign next to the church said. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
The lieutenant nods. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it.
Does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't...
face of King Fleecell smiles at you. For some reason, unsurprisingly, you skim the head. Finally, one of the editors, you flip back. This, you also, whoa. Apparently, you flip back. This section, you also, whoa. Apparently, you flip back. This section, you also, whoa. Apparently, you flip back to the front of the main. It takes, why? Obviously, as you leaf through this, the main feature though, is a long, you flip back to the front of the main. A cockatoo is a parrot with an erect. This book talks about the delicate nature of twos, as well as
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Sure, let me have a look. Oh, no. I don't... Photic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism.
you have absolutely no idea.
Another time, perhaps.
The trap is full of locusts. The motor car. Remember the tire tracks in Martinez? This
It appears to be so. I agree. We should definitely investigate.
you get a sudden sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water. Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea. The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out, a single day in the salty seawater would ruin most vehicles. But this one looks worn even in places. The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out, but you do.
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday evening. Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
I did not. But I'd say it has been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Yes, quite. Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider must have left something good inside. Guns, paper.
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent. The hinges creak under your weight. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea. The tune on your lips forms a strange yet undeniable. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. Then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher pitched and slightly more. Two birds on a wire, whistling by the seaside. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
I'm pretty sure I told you already, didn't I? My dad and mom are both half Zeolite.
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hard place.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Yes, 41. What do you think it's...
It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it. It's pedagogical. Does he know something about the driver of this vehicle?
But it could also be the number of a police precinct. Precinct 41.
A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling. No, just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you started in front of the whirling, jumped over the canal, and then drove your vehicle in the sea right here. Of whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were probably drunk. Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point.
It's sunken too deep. There is no access ramp to the coast.
I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off. That is very unlikely. All the electrics are toast. That goes, you'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. It'll be cheaper to buy well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this. Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition.
This was 20% of the station's vehicular budget.
People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything.
Yes, let's go take a look.
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You.
At least something good came out of all this.
Encased between two durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and the man keeps winking at you with his green-gray eyes. The photo is old, but the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge. Maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression. Although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you, it looks better on him because he isn't in as much pain while producing it as you are now. Although there's already a hint of that. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Harrier, that's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't. Not strange at all. Your name is Harrier Dubois, like it says on your police badge. It's a wartime name, revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times.
A name like armor.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light.
Lieutenant W. Freighter. The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant. The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're double Freighter. There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank. In your case, lieutenant. Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens' militia. It means
The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left during the revolution, which, in turn,
the lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kings. Kings like satellite officers and the additionally a freighter rank I already explained. You are given the title of satellite officer if your partner is quickly promoted through the ranks and you rise with him. You don't seem to be a satellite. No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good. It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge. Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and this leads me to believe maybe your current situation is only temporary. Good.
such a small yet precious thing, expensive paper caught between thick.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
The numbers are not there for good measure. They have an administrative purpose, one that's unfortunately been erased from your memory.
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably yes.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41, like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor, a lot of asphalt. It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is. But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
Roberts, Feuerbach, Dimitri. Suddenly, names from your decomptage flash in your... He knew all those people, although they're not from his station. They must be big. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out tool.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. 10-4, sir, glad to hear that. I'll write down that there is no need to issue a new one to you then. Over. Roger that. 10-10, over.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your... I am not.
You could be, Liz.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
So fucking what? Lots of models are...
No, Glenn, they aren't.
This didn't change her opinion of... It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Behind the... you see 2, maybe 3...
It's you again. What is it?
Starting from the city across, he spit, and then the M in the far corner, side in the middle. In conclusion, exactly.
The fuck is with you, fella? Again.
Good one.
About fucking time.
Yes? What is it? That was pretty good, Harry. Wasn't it, Jean?
Whoa, how does she know your name? She probably heard it from somewhere. You have to be more careful, Carrie.
That was... Yeah, that was absolute shit, if you want my opinion. Drunken shit. Haven't wanted anything to end this badly. Horrible. Truly horrible. I beg of you, don't ever...
Jean, he's not right. Don't make it worse, and I really liked it.
She actually did.
Yes, I called you by your name. What about it? God, everybody knows your name. Please go finish your investigation, so everyone can go home. It means I'm a patrol officer, sir.
What was with that, sir?
Well, I guess I,
Cut the shit. Every second you stand here running your mouth, the case grows colder. Again? I can't believe this shit.
Hey, was there something you needed?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? I love you did.
Fast, observantly, she is memorizing your bag.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious.
What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
There may be a way to get her speaking about herself at some later juncture.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to... No.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back.
Here you go.
To work!
Hola, Wandering Man. Los Ardis? They're an independent... They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Before the cargo container.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. Great! You want to bounce something off your old... It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her everything we've talked about.
You cannot but notice the prospect of you telling Joyce about your conversations is actually pleasing. Everard.
No, Harry. I'm perfectly neutral and 100% for transparency. I know people's...
Yes, he really doesn't seem to mind.
Absolutely, Harry. What's on... Most certainly, Harry. By all means, Harry. What's on... I'm always happy to educate and entertain you, my friend. So, what's on your mind? I sure do, Harry. One of our many great conversations. Heck, one of my favorites. What about it? Drug trade? Now you're being stupid, Harry. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad. Has bad optics.
In bulk shipping, large volume column is a
We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his...
Benefit is a children's cold medicine.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidon.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union...
He's basically admitting to it.
Yes, of course. And while you're doing that, please go ahead and also tell the Wild Pines.
Nothing in his features betrays any concern.
Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbor's turnover, just like the harbor is, but a small part of Martinez. Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. I'm gonna unite them all into one economic body. We're gonna incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's gonna be in on the wealth, and everyone's gonna pull their weight. Yes, if you start thinking about it like that, the socialist municipal body sort of is like a corporation, isn't it? It uses corporate law. We're incorporated. I like to think we're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking... You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big time mode, Harry.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
Very nice, Harry. Is there anything else? My dear Harry, there are I rarely do, Harry.
Mister, I'm not gonna bother you with a long greeting, just like we talked about before. I know you're probably a busy... Mr. Everett doesn't really want me to talk to people about union guys. But who did you want to talk about? Mr. Edgar is Mr. Everett's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does, but a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some union business. Not even in Revershaw, they say. All kinds of places he visits. Him and his brother both do when they're on a vacation. Right now, it's Mr. Everett's turn to look after the union, but left with the first autumn rains and didn't come back before the trees were green again.
South Safari. A lot of bulk chemical manufacturing going on there. The trade must have been lucrative for the trip to be so long.
He's a union man through and through. Good guy. He's very calm, laid back, doesn't do much, talks to Everett sometimes. Honestly, I don't know what he does for us, but it must be important because everybody likes him. Yes, they do. I think that's what he does. He makes everyone feel a little... Whoa, he's really something. He doesn't talk much to me usually, but when he does, I don't really understand most of what he's saying. Actually, I don't think he would like me running my mouth. Once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some Union men. I think he really believes Jean-Luc was a dragon because he ran right off. Another time he almost killed another guy, but I shouldn't talk about that. Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water, I tell you. Nice friendly sort, old Titus is.
He's probably one of those rare specimens who are born when two drunk seamen stumble on top of each other on the deck amidst a storm so violent.
I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Everett would like it very much. You better ask him yourself, mister. The night guard. Ooh, he's a peculiar fellow. He's the strong, silent type, you could say. We talk all the time, but I don't really know much about him. He plays petanque with my old human studies teacher, Mr. Martin, down at the plaza. I think he's the only fellow who They lived on the same street their entire lives. Even dated the same girl on and off for as long as I can remember. Strange fellows. Mr. Martin was always real nice to me in school. I remember once. Mr. Martin, yes. Don't really remember much about him. I was just a boy back then. Sure, mister. What can Leo do for you?
Hola, Wandering Man.
It's you again. What is it?
I have really outdone myself.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston.
René, it's a little... Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman in all of Revachon.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her rest in peace.
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just 2 houses apart. She was René's first girl back when the prick was 16. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die for some great ideal than just be happy.
And then you stole her from me.
Oh, officer. It already got ugly nearly 80 years ago when the 3 of us were just
You stole her from me.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out.
We were just boys then. This was different. You... No point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time. Especially when we have company. Officer.
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a quiet passage. René and I were both by her bedside when she...
died. No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back, will it?
Departed. Until the very hand she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive...
A quick grimace of pain passes over René's features, but he immediately regains control. His face now a dispassionate mask again.
She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color, she was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married. Heck, technically, we're both still engaged to her.
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. Seduced her with your fancy words and pastries.
He suddenly remembers you are still there, falls silent, and turns away.
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left. Sweet, sweet Jenny. Of course, officer. Memories, let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really. No, officers, I'm sorry. And I...
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the gauche caviar in the Union. Someone must not...
He means caviar socialists.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip.
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
I'm not even...
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard. Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history.
So Gaston taught both Easy Leo and the Clare brothers.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns. There he stands, proud, rigid and alone.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties. Help with little things. Evrard, oh yes. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card. But Evrard keeps...
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the Union. And now the illusion is disintegrating before your and René's eyes. He doesn't know anything. Because...
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. I hate the socialist rabble. But even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence.
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have... Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just as...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
That's just the way things work around here. No reason to feel bad about it. I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in, officer. I have a vivid imagination. And like I said, I have...
He just fluffs.
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink into any fight. Only sink into your couch.
I believe everyone has the right to think and do whatever...
Mon Dieu.
No, thank you. For... Sure, officer. No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this... I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food. Nothing personal.
The only one you have.
The sandwich looks like a culinary wonder. Well made and abundant in components. In addition to the obvious slice of ham, a fat one, you notice a brim of a tomato peeking from below. And is that...
Believe me, officer, I wish I could help you, but I need this sandwich to keep my blood sugar stable. In my age, you need to pay attention to these things. Fuck off! It's mine!
A glimmer of respect flashes in Rene.
Sorry, officer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it in a bad way. But the sandwich...
And it's gone.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get a bite of his dear sandwich and he gets claws.
Oh, the goal is to throw you bull. As close to the cochonnet as you can. That's the cochonnet. Well, first, you draw a circle about a half a meter in diameter. Then, the players aim to throw their bulls as close to the cochonnet. I could, but I'd rather not. I don't want to take up your time with trivial details. You'll put that knowledge to good use in 50...
I don't like where this is going, officer. Don't you think we should do something else now? Hurry up, then.
A man so principled about his sandwich calls for a principled approach. Time to get political. Too late. Daddy's already fighting the bad fight. Make it stick.
What? What oppressors?
I am not going to listen to this comic connery.
Huh? Yes, officer. I really don't understand how my sandwich could... I would rather just have this one, officer.
Tell this lost comrade what the people's sandwich would be like. Distill the essence of the working man in a sandwich.
That sounds horrible. You really don't know your way around the kitchen, officer.
One more door. There is no way to open the supply depot door. Accept it. You cannot open all the doors. You have to integrate this into your character. Some doors will forever remain closed, even if every...
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Sure, she's all draped up in ironic
Great. The little foray into the art world continues.
Blah, blah. I'm not for sale, Piggo.
Told you these art. Turn it around. It's the seller who wields the power in this relationship.
Uh-oh, you're manipulating me. I do like a chance. Okay, whatever, Piggy. Time to leech off each other like the parrot.
Even the lieutenant leans closer to inspect the work.
Here. Happy?
Interesting. You can immediately see multiple ways to interpret this piece. What is the experience that the artist is trying to create? What bodies and spaces are they seeking to explore? Remember, this is a buyer's market. She juts out her hand, letting you examine the piece. 3 red...
Well, Piggo, what do you make of it?
There's tension in these strokes of genius. A desire to step. The angle of the paint drops reveals that they were fired at the canvas with the force of a hand cannon.
Yes, my artistic integrity. Signature? Oh yeah, Pigster. I sneezed while holding a wet brush. Paint flecked onto the canvas, and voila! You don't get more signature than that art issue. 67,000 real.
Remember, this isn't about the art or lowball her. The wretched are used to rolling with the punches.
That it? All right. It'll help.
Splendid. Your first physical asset. But no time to stop. Money? Nah. She'd probably send the entire Wild Pines legal team after you. And become a small-time art peddler? No. There must be someone around here with heavy pockets and, yes, if you know what to listen for. I got some vibes from that container you moved with.
Look at us. Coming to an agreement. Anything else you want? I'm in a good mood.